Alrighty. What's next? Ooh. I think actually the next level is actually one of my favorite levels from this game here. I'll probably be saying that a lot when we get to Spyro 2. But I think a lot of it is just going to be me saying, oh, I don't like this one. But it's just me being grumpy more than anything. But Dark Hollow, I honestly really, 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 really love this one. Got a little bit scared. I just started looking down at my Elgato thing. Man, I'm so scared. This is like my first time doing it. It's like, I don't want any screw ups. I want to play a game and go to bed and not have to worry about recording the game again. So yeah, this is Dark Hollow. In the remaster, however, this game is had a facelift and a half. And even back then, I've always kind of liked the feeling of this level.
Oh, it's you! I wasn't sure if you'd escape those annoying little creatures. Of course, they wouldn't bother me, but here's a hint. Metal armor is fireproof, but a charge attack will take care of them.
Thanks, dude. I already forgot your name. But yeah, so when it comes to it, it's just like, I know I'm probably going to be overly praising. And I don't know much about the development of this game. I've always enjoyed playing it and all that stuff and reading some like unused assets. But I've always liked this little detail. And the fact that it does light up around it. So part of me was just wondering, either that was just trying to say, hey, look what the PS1 can do against that N64. Lighten, dude. Even though, let's be honest, Rare Games like had that figured out. The Banjo-Kazooie and company. So my real thing is Spyro 2 and 3 has skill points, where if you do just a unique task, like do a flight thing in a certain amount of time, and all that stuff, I feel like Spyro 1 might have had skill points at one point. Skill points at one point. And that was going to be one of them, like light up all the torches.
Psst, Spyro, want to know a secret? Use the triangle button when you want to zoom in and look around. Oh, your secret's safe with me.
I know that's like a bold like idea, but in terms of like bold ideas, like this whole area in the remaster, excuse my French here, but holy shit, this becomes like a makeshift library. And it just adds so much like lore and love to this whole world. And it's so cool. Like, I love the aesthetic of this level. The cool blues, the warm yellows. It's a great counter with each other. Yeah, like this and a level that's in level 3 are probably like my favorite levels in the entire series. Weirdly enough. And I know that's a bold assumption. And mind you, I got into this series around the same time I got into Crash Bandicoot. I think it was because like Crash Bandicoot was ending, quote unquote, and I needed a new game to play. So basically, I remember Crash Warped had a demo, and this game has a demo of Crash Warped as well. And I guess I'll probably show that off at the very end of this playthrough, just as a little novelty, and probably hint that I'll do Crash in the future, which I probably won't. I'll probably do the remasters because I kind of prefer playing them that way. I know this guy. He's important later. I know he's dead, but he's important. But yeah, I remember going through the manual when I got Crash Warped. And mind you, I'm 4. I don't know how to read that well, but I can read a manual by just looking at the pretty pictures. Hold on a second.
Big enemies like this Gnorc with the club cannot be charged, but a quick flame, that should defeat them.
But Clancy, I like this. I already killed him. He was right there. And basically, and I gotta go back and open up that big chest. I need a new game. I played the demo, and I think it was this in Town Square, and I think a flight? I'm trying to remember. I'll have to go through and actually see it because, yeah, it was basically that demo made me go, Mom, Dad, I want this game. This game is fun. And yeah, the rest is history. I'm missing one gem. Oh no. Okay, well, you know what this calls for? It's time for a montage. Hit that drum solo. It's right here. Okay, well, time to get out of this level. So I was talking about the crash and so on. So I will probably show off some of the demos and all that stuff. Like I know the Crash Warp demo for Spyro because I did it much years later. Was weirdly one of the jet ski levels with Coco, which yeah, that's one way to highlight your game. And I say that, and I think I had a PlayStation Magazine demo. I think it was like, I remember seeing Spyro, but I didn't play it because I saw Purple Dragon, and me being an idiotic 4-year-old, this is 98, 4-year-old, and was probably like, oh, it's a girl's game, when clearly I was wrong. It's a dragon, they're badass, what's wrong with me? So, all that's left to do in this world is to, was that an extra life? Thank you. Cool, 9 lives, staying alive. Now to go after the boss. Toasty! That was really bad. My voice did not want to do that. So, yeah, I played that and was obsessed and then got Spyro 2 the same... I got it the same day. Like, my parents were awesome. They gave it to the same day as Crash Team Racing. And they played Crash Team Racing. Like, that's how cool my parents were. They played Crash Team Racing while I was playing Spyro 2. And I eventually got to Crash Team Racing. This whole game, I'm not a fantasy person at all. I think the closest fantasy is just like, I don't know, like Willow. Like, I don't really like much fantasy media. Like, I think controversial opinion for me being a film person, I'm not a big fan of Lord of the Rings. I read the books, I've read The Hobbit, and they just, I think that it's just missing something. They are grand cinematic achievements. Like, that is something I will not take away. And you bitch. Yeah, that guy heard me say it. The Gandalf looking guy was not happy about me saying that. So I basically like dragons. I've never really been interested into. I remember my grandmother was trying like desperately to have me read Aragon, and I just did not care whatsoever. So yeah. So when it came to like dragons, I didn't care. But bandicoots that basically have cartoony deaths like that was perfect for me. This little beat happens a couple of times. This is more of a slower one, but it is the Spyro theme, but it plays so much throughout the game, most notably in a villain named Jocks. What's up, Nevin?
Nasty Nork has put one of his most devious henchmen in charge of the artisan world.
Bring him on. I think I smell a barbecue.
Be careful, Spyro. This boss has many tricks up his sleeve.
So, Nevin, you're not going to help me? Rude. So this weirdly is like a funny boss when you find out more about it. But yeah, you just got fun. The bosses in this game, except for Dr. Shimp, because I'm kind of stupid when it comes to that boss for whatever reason. I'm like, yeah, look, it's a sheep. Yeah. It's funny because sheep. These dogs are more of a threat than the sheep. Like, here, look, boom, gone. Come on. It's kind of embarrassing. And I missed 3 gems. Fuck! Alright, here's 1, here's 2, here's 3. Okay. But back to the music. No, I absolutely love the music. It's done by Stuart Copeland, who's the drummer for the Police. Okay, so let's head to the next world. But first, I'm going to save my game. And I'm going to go to you to save it. But we will call this a part here. The next time we reconvene, we will, meet up and go to the Peacekeepers, which is probably makes it sound like that hub world is going to be very pleasant, very simple, and no enemies whatsoever. So, yeah, I'll see you then.